Hey guys, RT back here for the video, guys. Today we'll be looking at the Z Fold 4 and the Z Fold 3 side by side. Should you go ahead and actually pick up this device, yes or no? So as we can see right here, we do have, which is really interesting, the two different pictures on Samsung's website, and the Z Fold 4 just looks so much smaller than the Z Fold 3. I don't know if this is for some reason or not, but I don't think it's that much smaller in person based on what I've seen pictures of. But anyway, though, like I said before, just a key tip, if you guys cannot notice, is that the hinge is completely smaller on the Z Fold 4 than it is on the Z Fold 3. So that's the simple first look, difference when you look at the front end of the display. But let's go ahead and talk about the differences outside of that. So going ahead and zooming in here, guys, so you guys can see a tad bit better, we do of course have the Z Fold 4 on the left and the Z Fold 3 on the right. So same exact battery, nothing upgraded there, which I was kind of disappointed. I really expected a bigger battery. I know all the rumors we actually looked at said it was going to be the same exact battery, but I was kind of hoping, Samsung do a little bit of a, give us a little bit more than that. But with that being said, though, keep in mind that, of course, with the same exact battery, it is also $17.99. So it's not cheaper like it was expected. Anyway, though, wireless power share is on both devices, which is really cool. We have the storage options of 256, 512, and 1 terabyte, which of course is the upgrade from the Z Fold 3, is you get that 1 terabyte option, which is, in my opinion, really, really cool. We do, of course, get a processor upgrade. So we go from a Snapdragon 888 processor to a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 up to 3.2 gigahertz. Of course, RAM option wise, we do get 12 gigabytes versus 12 gigabytes, so exactly the same amount of RAM. And after this my video yesterday, I believe that there's no real reason to upgrade RAM even more than that. I mean, yes, you could technically increase that and make it like 16 gigabytes of RAM, but for a cell phone, you really don't need that much. You really don't. 12 is already overkill. At that point, you're just adding a hat to a pig at this point. Okay, there's no real point. Anyway, though, going down here, we do of course have S Pen support on both, but keep in mind it is not integrated, so meaning that you are going to have to go ahead and bring your S Pen with your phone. Of course, you can buy the S Pen cover case if you really just don't like your life. I'm just kidding. I don't like the S Pen cover case this year. It looks absolutely disgusting, but if you want to pick that up, you can. You can actually get it for free with the 512 gigabyte version of the Galaxy Z Fold 4. All right, we have the cellular wireless, and of course, both of them are going to be 5G. So if you are thinking about picking this up, you are going to get 5G. Also 4G LTE, and of course, that is it. Ultra wide cameras, that is going to be a yes. Now for the actual cameras, which is kind of interesting how Samsung does not have anything listed for the Z Fold 3 when it comes to cameras. It does have a picture of it, but that's actually it when it comes to the real camera. Anyway, though, the Z Fold 3 does have a triple 12 megapixel camera setup on the back. Of course, that's going to be a little bit different for the brand new Z Fold 4, which comes with a 50 megapixel wide, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, 10 megapixel telephoto, 3 times optical zoom, 30 times space zoom, and 8K 24 FPS. I believe that the Z Fold 3 had 4K at 60 FPS, which was the top resolution, and again it came with a 12 megapixel triple camera setup. Now I say this again, I'll say it a million times, it does have the Galaxy S22 Ultra's camera sensor in there, which is absolutely a W, but other than that, the megapixels do not matter, guys. I always get comments and I always talk about this for this exact reason. 50 megapixels and 12 megapixels for the normal person is nothing different. So megapixels is millions of pixels. So 50 millions of pixels are being shot every time you take a photo with this camera. Now you might say, oh my God, that's amazing. That's crazy. I want that. Well, unless you're printing out the picture, and I mean literally you're taking the raw image and printing it out, you cannot put it on social media. You cannot send it to somebody. You have to literally print it out straight from the camera. then you are fine. And 50 megapixels, you're probably gonna be printing out something the equivalent of half of a human body, like half the size of a human body. Yeah, you really don't need it. If you put on any social media, automatically gets downscaled. If you send it to anybody, post it on Twitter, automatically gets downscaled. So if you think about it, once you put it on social media, you're pretty much the equivalent of shooting it on a 10 megapixel camera. All right, front camera, 10 megapixels, 4K, 60 FPS. I believe that the I think it's 1080p, 30 FPS for the Z Fold 3. I wish Samsung would actually show us this, but yet they also show the fact the f-stop, the aperture on the Z Fold 3 for some reason. Anyway, though, it says a pro-grade camera. Okay. Anyway, though, flow detection, yes, and details unavailable for the Z Fold 4. Of course, it does have a fingerprint reader on both different devices. For display, it does come with a dynamic AMOLED, and obviously both of them are dynamic AMOLED displays. This does say it's a QXGA. Okay. Anyway, though, it is going to be a 7.6 inch inner display. Both of them exactly the same. Of course, both of them having a 6.2 inch outer display too. So nothing changed there, nothing different there. Both of them have 120 hertz across the board. And of course, for the scene optimizer, there you go. All right, so question is, should you upgrade and pick up the Z Fold 4 over the Z Fold 3? Because if you look at everything here, the only real difference is, of course, what would be, on paper here, the processor upgrade. That's the real only difference. I mean, the cameras are better, but the cameras really don't matter. So at the end of the day, it really comes down to one thing and one thing only. Is going to be that bad boy right there, which of course, go back up, the processor. Of course, the hinge is different, which is interesting. The outer display does, well, sorry, the outer display hopefully will have S Pen support. The inner display is supposed to be more tougher and more rigid and more stronger. But for $17.99, that's a lot of money to say, here's a better camera and here's a better, processor. That's a lot of money to spend when you can get the Z Fold 3 on eBay for around $900. Probably less than that now because this came out. Probably less than, probably $700, $600. It's really hard to make the case to pick up the Z Fold 4. I'll be honest with you guys. It's really hard to make the case because at the end of the day, even if you're like, well, you need the 512 GB version, for the same price as that, it's $17.99 though. You could get the 512 GB version on eBay for cheaper than that. I'll definitely say, again, this is all up to you personally. At the end of the day, I love how the Z Fold 4 looks. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. Personally, again, like I said, I love Z Fold 3, but Z Fold 4 is just an upgrade version. So coming from a Z Fold 3 fan, I absolutely love Z Fold 4. But if you're looking at this from a third-party angle of someone who never went ahead and actually, did it, like, never really had invested in any of this, I'm almost to a point where I say I probably would not pick up the Z Fold 4. I probably would pick up the Z Fold 3 for a cheaper price tag. But if you are a Z Fold 3 fan and you already have one and you're thinking about upgrading, with the trade-in value especially, I would probably do it. Trade in your Z Fold 3, get the Z Fold 4, and get that upgrade. It's enough of an upgrade where if you have a Z Fold 3, I would say yes. But if you don't have a Z Fold 3, it might not be worth the upgrade. But again, keep in mind, I do not have this in my hands. I'm not owning this right now. I did pre-order it, so I have to wait till we get in the studio to really break it down and talk about it and really, say my thoughts and opinions. But coming from a guy who literally had a Z Fold 3 as a daily driver for over a year pretty much, I really gotta say, I love Z Fold 3. And I don't know if Z Fold 4 is going to be worth it. There was a lot of things I speculated and that I heard rumors of that was going to be upgraded or changed. And that just simply seems to not be the case. So, again, like I said, we might, change our mind once we get the phone in our hands and in the studio. But until we do, we're going to have to just go ahead and go with the straight opinion and straight facts that it might not be worth the true upgrade. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment down below. See you guys next one. Peace out.